Secondly, during your USA F1 student visa interview, nobody's going to ask you 20 questions. If anyone is asking you up to more than 5 questions, just know that something is wrong. Just know that something is wrong, because in that moment, just realize that it's either you're doing something wrong, you have answered something wrongly, you have said something that has led them to want to know more information from you. So usually when we're writing exams in school, it's like the more you write, you're thinking, oh, some people even ask for extra sheets, but that's not the case here. The moment a consular officer begins to ask you more than 5 questions, just know that something is wrong and you should begin to pray, and we don't want to get you to that point. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. And so guys, allow me to feel my hair. This hair is really beautiful. Like, this is the real Valine. Anyone who knows me knows that I am a sucker for full hair. This is actually my signature look. And so tell me what you think. Is this hair very, do you prefer this hair on me, or you prefer the other hair that I have had on my channel for a while now? Let me know in the description box, okay? So guys, my name is Valine Ose, and I am a graduate student at the University of Alabama at Birmingham, UAB, where I am studying cybersecurity. Basically, I use this platform to share my experiences here in the United States of America as an international student. So you see a lot of, content revolving around these areas. If you like my personality, if you like what you're seeing, then do well to join this family, and all you have to do is hit the subscribe button, turn your notifications bell on so you're the first to get notified once I upload my content. And guys, subscription is free, okay? Today's video is basically about sharing with you the top tips that would enable you get your USA F1 student visa just once, okay? Now, I already uploaded a video where I talked about my story, how it was for me, how I was able to get my USA visa in 3 minutes. And guys, if you haven't seen that video, please check through my channel after you're done watching this video, so you can pick something from that video as well. While that video is a story time video about my personal journey, this video is more centered about helping you navigate your process, helping you navigate the US F1 visa interview process, and ensuring that you go to that interview and come back with your USA F1 visa, okay? So guys, I'm going to be talking about these tips in 2 categories. Now, the first category would be what you should do before the interview itself, while the second category would be what you should do during or in the process of the interview itself. Okay, so we have the before and the during. We don't have an after. An after would be that maybe you were given the visa, which is the essence of this video. So I'm hoping that after would happen in your life, in Jesus' name. Okay, so guys, the first thing that you need to do to ensure that you get your USA F1 visa is preparation and research. Now, you cannot tell anyone, or me or yourself or anybody, that you want to go for your USA F1 student visa interview and you're not prepared, and you're not carrying out research. Then it means that you're telling yourself, you're even telling me right now, that you are ready to fail. Preparation is key to getting your USA F1 visa. Now, I'm not just saying preparation in terms of, let's just prepare to fulfill all righteousness. No, you need to understand that your preparation has to be strategic. You need to know the things that you should be preparing for and the areas that you should be concentrating on, because most times people just they are all over the place, and then they end up doing nothing, and then when they go for the US F1 visa, they are denied. But that's not your portion, okay? So what do you need to prepare for? What should you research? You should ensure that you're researching about your school. Go to your school website, guys. Go to your school website and ensure that you know where your school is located, and ensure that you know the benefit of that course that you have applied for to your home country. Now, you must also ensure that while you are doing that research, you are also tailoring it down to yourself. Why did you choose that school? Why did you choose that course? And why that location? You must be able to answer those questions. And if you are able to answer these questions, then you are in the right track. You are doing the right thing, And when you add the other tips I'm going to be talking about in this video, and I can assure you, because it happened for me, that definitely you would get your USA F1 visa. So you need to prepare, you need to write these things down, you need to get a journal, you need to have a personal journal for this preparation journey. So on that journal, you'll be writing down everything that you are researching, every question that you are asking yourself. You are writing it down and tailoring it down to yourself, because you don't want to give a generic answer. You might go online and be making research and see people's answer, and then you just grab it all. No, what you need to do is to ensure that every response that you have to every given question is tailored to yourself. You need to own it, because ownership is what would make Ursula to kind of like your personality. So that is very key. The second thing that you need to do to ensure that you grab your USA F1 visa is to rehearse. Now, when people tell you to prepare, research, you think that process of researching is you rehearsing. No, it's not. When you are done with your research, that is the time you start your rehearsal. And I am not just saying rehearsing to pass. Now, I want you to re-strategize your rehearsal process. If you have been rehearsing to pass, then you need to stop. What you need to do is rehearse to know. There's a difference between rehearsing to pass and rehearsing to know. Now, when you're rehearsing to know, you are also rehearsing to pass. But when you are rehearsing to pass, you are not rehearsing to know. And the danger with rehearsing to pass is that when they ask you a question, they do something that will just throw you off balance. You are gone. You have lost that answer, because most times it's either you have crammed it, or you just have a one approach to answering that question, which is wrong. But when you rehearse to know, it is in you. You embody the answer. You have already simulated so many ways that that question can be asked, and so many ways that that question relates to you, which is why I said that during research, you should ensure that you tailor every response to yourself and to asking that question, why? All right, so ensure that you rehearse to know and not rehearse to pass. So the next thing that you must do to ensure that you get your USA F1 visa once is to ensure that you have an accountability partner. Now, we've heard about accountability partner when it comes to like maybe our journey with the Lord, or our relationship with someone, but you can also apply accountability partnership to your USA F1 student visa. Why? Because when you're just doing it on your own, sometimes you'll be discouraged. Sometimes it becomes even overwhelming, because you're just taking a lot of information in, and you see that when you're doing that, at some point you'll be, I'm tired. You don't feel motivated anymore. You just want to stop and rest. You just want to relax and be taken care of, okay? But when you have an accountability partner, you tell that person, see, this is my target, this is my aim, this is the date of my interview, all right, and this is what I want to achieve before that day. So if you've chosen a date for the interview, let's say a 1 month interval for that interview, you must be ready at least 2 weeks before that interview, or at max 3 weeks before that interview. Guys, I need to check that out, and then I'll get back to this video, okay? Sorry about that, something fell and I had to take it off, okay? So getting an accountability partner would allow you to be checked and allow you to evaluate yourself, to understand if you're actually doing the right things, to even know if you are ready as an individual. At least that accountability partner must be someone who has your good at heart, must be someone who wants to see you succeed. You want to ensure that that person that you have chosen must not necessarily be family. If it's family, but ensure that that person is not someone that you say, oh mommy, I need to sleep, I want to sleep, or no, just ensure that it's somebody that will not let you get away with anything, any excuse or anything like that. So your accountability partner must be someone that is ready to call you, check up on you, even ask you questions. The person must be able to also go through research with you. The person can be doing personal research on their own, just to ensure that whenever they have the right questions to ask you that can actually throw you off balance, because you might be preparing for a particular kind of question, and then your accountability partner might be seeing other things, and then be asking you those questions, and you'll be like, oh wow, that is actually a good question that could actually come up without you knowing. So you are ready for any eventuality, because you involved an accountability partner who is ready to see you succeed. So guys, ensure that you have someone in your circle. It could be your friend, it could be your best friend, it could be someone ahead of you, but just ensure that you have that one person who's ready to see you succeed and ready to not have you get away with any excuse, because ultimately you can get away with it, but the danger is that you are doing yourself more harm than good. Okay, so guys, the next thing that you have to do is to carry out a mock or trial interview even before your set date of interview. Now, the reason why this is good is because it gets you prepared. And you just don't have to, this time it mustn't be your accountability partner. It could just be someone random, and just give the person, a list of questions, maybe 10 to 20. Definitely during your USA F1 student visa interview, nobody's going to ask you 20 questions. If anyone is asking you up to more than 5 questions, just know that something is wrong. Just know that something is wrong, because in that moment, just realize that it's either you're doing something wrong, you have answered something wrongly, you have said something that has led them to want to know more information from you. So usually when we're writing exams in school, it's like the more you write, you're thinking, oh, some people even ask for extra sheets, but that's not the case here. The moment a consular officer begins to ask you more than 5 questions, just know that something is wrong and you should begin to pray. And we don't want to get you to that point. So ensure that that mock or trial interview has to be with someone who can just, it mustn't be that this person has done any research or anything like that. The person can just throw random questions at you and watch you answer those questions and act as the interviewer. Okay, and another thing that you can do during this phase is that you can get yourself your phone, turn your phone on, and watch yourself answering those questions in front of your phone or in front of a mirror. Now, why that is good is because it's going to help you. The tip I'm going to be talking about during the next category, it's going to help you there. It will help you gain that, build that eye contact, connect with your interviewer. Okay, so you need to ensure that you're rehearsing with someone who's going to be throwing random questions at you, and you're also using your mirror to practice. You're also using your phone, or if you have a professional camera, you can use any of those. Using a mirror, talking in front of the mirror will also build your confidence, which is something that you definitely need during your USA F1 student visa interview. Okay, so the next thing that you need to do before your interview. Now, this is critical. I talked about it in my video, where I was sharing my own personal experience, how I was able to navigate the whole questions. I need you to have a proper conversation with your sponsor. Now, having a proper conversation with your sponsor is very important, because your sponsor is somebody that will be, presenting his bank statement, which is something that the embassy wants to know, that you have enough money to take care of yourself while you are in the States, or enough money to just get everything that you need as an individual. Because one thing is for you to have enough money for your utilities, another thing is for you to have money to cover your main purpose of being there, which is your education. So you need to have a proper conversation with your sponsor. Now, what should you be discussing with your sponsor? The things that you should discuss with your sponsor would be, now he has given you a bank statement. Understand what's in that bank statement. What are there variations in the amount on the bank statement? Now, are there times where there were high amount of money in the account, there were low amount of money in the account? Why was it so? Ask your sponsor that question. What does your sponsor do? You need to understand, the job or the business that your sponsor is involved in, because trust me, they will ask that question. So ask your sponsor, what does he do for a living? If you already know, good and fine. But in that bank statement, focus on it and figure out why there are variations in the bank statement, and ensure that your sponsor doesn't just send money, and the money was just lying there 6 months before your interview, so that you have an interview document ready to present. That is definitely going to tell bad on you. So ensure that there's transactions going on in that bank statement. So you need to have that conversation with your sponsor. So ensure that the bank statement you're taking is not something that was just they just fed it just to let my people go. So you don't want that. So have a proper conversation with your sponsor. That's what I'm trying to say here. Okay, the next thing that you have to do is to ensure that you have your facts right. Your facts right in the sense that when they ask you about your home ties, be ready for that question, because you need to build a response when it comes to your home ties. Now, what is home ties? Home ties are things that will definitely take you back to your home country. Anything that can that can, you know, ensure that it's like a collateral. You know, when somebody is owing you money and then you say, give me collateral, that is you trying to, you know, that collateral will ensure that that person pays you money, even though some people don't pay. But what the idea is that your visa is a student visa. So they believe that you're going there to study and you are coming back. So home ties are things that would definitely ensure that you come back to your home country. So it could be maybe you're married, so you have a wife back home, or you have a husband back home, or you have kids back home, you know, or you have a land back home, or you have a running business back home, or you have what else, you know, you have a job back home. Then those are things that would definitely, you know, indicate home ties. Now, if you're single and you're saying to yourself, I'm not married, I don't have a child, I don't have a job, I just want to go further my education, so what do I do? What you should do is to ensure that you are able to prove beyond every reasonable doubt that you're going to come back to your home country. And that's why you need to answer this question before going. What is the benefit of your course study to your home country? Knowing the answer to that question will definitely help you, because when they ask you, so what would you do after graduation, you should be able to tell them that based on the fact that my course of study is relevant in these areas, I intend to return back to my home country to be able to impact in my home country, you know, using the benefits or the skills that I have learned in my course of study. You give them examples, you give them case studies. So understanding that question and having yourself prepared for that question will definitely help you as a single or as a married person. If you're married, it's already, you know, a lot easier, but that doesn't mean that you will not be denied, because a lot of, you know, married people still get denied. That's because, you know, in other areas or in other questions that they have been, you know, asked, they were unable to respond to, you know, the interviewer, or something just went wrong. So whether you are married, which is an advantage in terms of having a home tie, or you're single, which could be a disadvantage, you know, in terms of not having a home tie, besides you proving beyond every reasonable doubt that you would come back home, you know, you should be prepared and you should do all of these tips that I have mentioned so far.